Story time. How I ended up slapping one of my college roommates.
Goddamn. Mama taught me good home training. My daddy taught me how to love my haters. My sister told me I should speak my mind. My man made me feel so goddamn fine.
Little backstory while I tell you guys about this. So literally, I was class of 2020, so that means I had the drive-through graduation. I didn't have the traditional graduating, and I didn't have my traditional freshman year in college where, you know, you got to meet everybody, got to see everybody, and that definitely was my downfall. Let me just say that. Flash forward now to my sophomore year. I finally, you know, campuses are open. Everyone's super excited and everybody's moving on campus. I still didn't really know anybody because I didn't really chat with anybody during my online year. I just worked. So I didn't really have time to do all of that. So I was really excited for my sophomore year and the move-in day and everything, right? And my move-in day was pretty weird because I didn't actually get to meet my suite mates until like 2 weeks into school. So on my move-in day, I ended up meeting these other girls that I barely ever saw like after that day, like literally after that. But I did end up hanging out with one suite mate that seemed to always be home all the time. And so now me and her hanging out, and her name's Ellen. We're gonna call her Ellen for right now. We're hanging out a lot more because I didn't have a roommate. I didn't get to pick my suite mates, and I didn't get to pick my roommate. So all the girls that I was gonna end up meeting for my first week of September were all strangers, and I was super duper nervous. But me and Ellen seemed to be pretty cool. You know, she had a cool vibe for the most part. We could chit chat. You know what I mean? We were both bored at home, so it was like, what else can we really do? I was too shy to go out and about on campus, and she just seemed to always be home. So I was like, okay, me and you can kick it. I should not have fucking done that. Eventually, I do meet all the rest of the girls, and they're super dope and super cool, right? And I'm like, okay, this is pretty nice. I ended up meeting Ellen's roommate, and that ended up becoming my best friend for like ever. Me and her are still in contact to this day. But when I got to meet the other girls, something really changed in Ellen. It was different. I started to notice that her energy would change when the girls would come home. Like, instead of me and her just kikiing it up, she would try to make fun of me. She'd be like, oh, look at her. She's so fucking full of herself. And I'd be like, wait, did Ellen just say that about me? Or she'd just be like, yeah, I guess girls who walk around thinking they're pretty all the time really be thinking they're the best. All of a sudden just talking shit about me in front of these girls, and they're looking at her like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at her like, what the fuck is going on? So her whole vibe and energy changed right after I got to meet everybody officially. This color is so pretty. Yeah, look how satisfying this is. Okay, hold on, it's not even letting y'all see it. But when I started to peep that Ellen was acting mad weird after I met the girls, I was like, okay, so obviously these girls must be like in her mind, because she had a very high school type of mindset. These girls must be considered the popular girls in her brain, and that's why she has to be mean to the girl who seemingly has no friends and doesn't know anybody at school, the new girl. So I was like, oh great, I'm in fucking what's that movie with the pink ones? I'm in that movie, and now I gotta deal with this bitch. Great, part 2 is already up. Story time about how I slapped my roommate. Yikes. So now Ellen's getting really aggressive with me, whether or not the girls are there or not. She starts banging, and I mean repeatedly banging on my door. Now here's a little context. In the school, there was a microwave for the entire building to share. And in my suite, there was one microwave in my room. And I told the suite mates when I first met them all, and we all kikied for the first time, I was like, yeah, no problem, you guys. If you want to use my microwave when I'm home, just let me know. No problem, just ask, right? So I guess Ellen decided to take this as a very big invitation to bang on my goddamn door all the time. None of the other girls like ever took it to that extreme. If they needed it, they'd be like, hey, or they just text me and be like, hey, you know, I got some stuff I want to heat up, like, do you mind if I come in and use your microwave or whatever? And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, no problem, because I offered for everyone to use my microwave. I really wanted to make friends. Since I didn't have a roommate, it was really important for me to make some college friendships. I was dying to have a good female friend. I just wanted a woman that would understand. Oh my god, now I'm trying to blend on my pimple. I just wanted a woman that could understand me. Like, I wanted to talk to the girls about makeup, but I didn't tell anybody about my TikTok because I was so nervous because of how mean everything was going. I was like, oh my god, I'm scared. But continuing about Ellen, adding some more, but yeah, everything with Ellen started to get real aggressive. She started banging on my door, girl. I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on? So I told her roommate to see if maybe it's just something she does if she was just aggressive like that, and everybody was confused. So everyone's like, no, Ellen's really nice. Like, she's mad cool, da-da-da-da. Like, you can laugh with her. She jokes all the time. Like, nah. And I was like, so Ellen's not mad, weird, and aggressive? I'm like, why, how come she keeps banging on my door? Like, we had an RA in our suite. So I was like, how is she getting away with this every single time? Like, my room was right next to the RA. Like, RA door, my door, Ellen's down the hall. We're all in one suite, but she's like 2 doors down. And yet she's getting away with this every single goddamn day. And I'm like, all right, so now it's time for me to spaz the fuck out, since clearly she's just doing this shit to me. Going for like a no foundation kind of look, so that's why I'm using the Halo Glow. But everything started to click for me when I realized, oh, okay, so she's from Boston and I'm from Boston, but nobody really knew that. Everyone thought I was from Walpole, you know, and for them, they thought I sounded very white. And I was like, okay, whatever. I've heard that shit my whole entire life. I really don't care at this point, but that's what happened. She's thinking that I wouldn't boss up and wouldn't argue with her, wouldn't fight with her. That's what was going on. So when I realized, okay, so they think I'm whitewashed, so they think I won't boss up, they think I won't do anything, and that's why she's trying me so much. I guess it was my time to shine now. And I didn't know what to do, really. I wasn't sure how I was going to calculate it, but I knew the next time she banged on my damn door, I was going to have to do something about it. Part 3? It's already up. Part 3, how I ended up slapping my roommate in college. So now at this point, I'm plotting on what I should do next. I'm like, okay, the next time she bang on my door, what should I do? Like, should I wait for the RA to come, or should I wait for the RA to leave so I can do something more than, you know, what I'd be able to do with the RA there? Because our RA was very passive. She didn't do shit. She just, you know, she would see shit and walk away from shit. She didn't care. She was a super senior. She was there to get her money and to leave, for real. So I was like, okay, that's kind of a dead end. But all of a sudden I hear big boom, 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 stomping. And I was like, okay, it's game time. I gotta do it right now. So I hear her approaching my door. So I decide, all right, the second she hits the first bang on my door, I'm about to swing this bitch open and cuss her the fuck out. I'm like, I gotta do this. I decided that if I didn't do it, I would have to be dealing with this for the rest of the year. She's my roommate, my sweet mate. I gotta live with you. So that means I have to make sure that I set boundaries right now or else I'm screwed. I hear the first boom and I opened my door and I was like, I thought I told you before to stop banging on my door and everything in here is not entitled to you. And she goes, well, you know, you're the only person in here with a working microwave and you know that I need the microwave because I have a lot of frozen foods. And I was like, why do you keep buying frozen foods if you don't have a microwave? You need to buy something else. So, or you need to go downstairs and start using it on the microwave. I'm about to tell you to stop using my stuff. And I already told you to need to stop banging on my door like you're paying for it. You're not my roommate. You're not my sweet mate. You don't own this store. I'm paying for it by my damn self, which means that you and me are going to keep having an issue if you keep grabbing on my door. She's like, why do you keep locking your door anyways? I'm like, because it's my door to lock. I pay for it. So now we're really getting into it. And the RA ends up being home, bro. The RA comes out her room, but it don't seem like me or her give a flying fuck about her coming out of her room because we're still going at it. She's trying to push past me at this point now to get to my room to just be like, I'm just going to use it anyways. And I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. So now I'm like, girl, you better cut it out because I'm for real going to have to do something if you keep stepping past me right now. She's like, what? And I'm like, oh, you want to talk about some what? Okay, bitch. So I go, Ellen, you need to relax. And now the RA is trying to jump in like, guys, you know, we don't need to start, you know, we don't need to be that loud. Like, seriously. She goes and pushed past me again. My hand reach up and slaps the shit out of her. I don't give a flying fuck. I've had several friends tell me I'm very heavy-handed. So when I slapped the fuck out of her, I knew that shit had to hurt. She kind of just stopped in her tracks and looked at me. And I was like, I literally told you to stop fucking banging on my door. I told you to stop. Now I had to do something about it. What? When I tell you, I was kind of mid-stunned too because, dang, my reflexes kind of ate that day. But she was more stunned than I was. That's for damn sure. Don't do stupid shit if you don't want to get slapped. Now she's shook. The RA shook because she just witnessed, you know, me slapping somebody. So she's like, and I was like, I know, I'm sorry that I just slapped someone in front of you that put you in an awkward position, but she definitely deserved it. So I know I'm not getting in trouble. In conclusion, she never stole or banged on my door ever the fuck again.